Sports. As we head towards kickoff, two quarterbacks will be on the field today trying to push their team to victory. It's the Redskins going up against the Cowboys. With that, we'll send you out to Arlington, Texas. Here's Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
Larry, we find ourselves right in the center of the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex in Arlington and AT&T Stadium. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Washington Redskins and the Dallas Cowboys. Two teams here, each off to 1-0 starts as this one is underway on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10 at the... Nine-yard line. And tough starting field position here. And they'll run it here. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Offensive starters time, Charles, for the Washington Redskins.
Let's look at Josh Dotson, the wide receiver out of TCU. Grew up in Fort Worth. His mom works at the university as a vice president. He actually went to Wyoming first, transferred back to TCU, and boy, is he a high flyer. Throw it up in the air, he'll go up and get it.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And some room to maneuver. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Anytime a team goes on the road, there's always that little bit of fear that maybe they can be affected by the hometown crowd. But this is where game planning really came into play. They talked about it all week. Go in there, establish yourselves. Well, that run right there, that slows down the crowd and gives them a lot of confidence.
They go play action here on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. And now the defense for Dallas.
Ezekiel Ansah out of BYU. We call him Ziggy, and he knows where the quarterback is on every play.
So the incomplete pass brings up 2nd down. A 2nd down throw for Cousins. It's brought in by Jamison Crowder. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
To me, that's a superior play by the backer because he was allowed to, I think, run free on it and make that play. His defensive linemen, they cover things down for him because offensive guys, the linemen, what they're trying to do, as you know, is block the guy at the point of attack and then climb to the next level and get the linebacker. When you're not allowed to climb, you got a free hitter, and that's what we saw there, and a really nice play resulted for them.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take it down to about the 35 here. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. This will be play number 8 of the opening drive. It's 3rd and short. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
So our initial drive here this afternoon results in 3. I'm not sure that was a statement necessarily, but getting points on the road, never a bad thing.
No question about it, Brandon. You had a crowd that was all fired up during pregame introductions, yet you're able to quiet them just a little bit by taking their early lead.
They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Prescott. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on 1st down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them.
Second down, Prescott. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
And they pick up a 1st down, and that came out of the fullback position. But as you and I both know, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a fullback playing in that spot.
Well, times have changed, right? The old school fullback doesn't really exist anymore.
We're not getting that same player out of college with all the spread offenses, not very many pro style where you actually have a true fullback. We're having to make do in the NFL and put guys in that spot who emulate it but aren't necessarily that position.
Give him 3 on the play, and that'll make it a 2nd down. Okay, starting lineup time offensively, Charles, for the Dallas Cowboys.
And how about them at number 4 in the 2016 draft? Big needs on the defensive line, and they go with the running back.
They go star power.
They went star power, but Ezekiel Elliott, in a lot of ways, was exactly the right decision. When they had winning success in 2014, they did it running the football. Elliott can do that for them again.
And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Defense has to stand tall here, 3rd and 1. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
On 3rd and 1, it seems natural to just turn and hand it to the biggest guy you have in the backfield. But usually, he's not the primary runner. So for the defense, they're often keying on the running back because he's the guy who gets the ball more often, and the fullback is the blocker. When he ends up carrying the football, that's a heck of a tendency breaker, and now you're just trying to jump on his back and hold on.
Let's go! Ryan 38! Flex round!
Prescott looks to throw on 1st. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. And now a look at the Washington defense.
Leonard Williams was one of the top draft picks coming out of USC, and he's done nothing to diminish the comparisons people make of past greats.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Throwing again, Prescott on 2nd and 10. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
So much of this game is focus and concentration. And whenever I see guys running the in route, I know that in the back of their mind, they're always wondering who's lurking inside that might put a big hit on them as they try and catch the ball.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And that's incomplete.
All right, let's go ahead and try and get into the body and the mind of the linebackers. Yeah, I know they're bigger and stronger than I ever was, but in this situation, they understood what was going on as much as the offensive guys, because the offense guys always...
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th.
Here we go. What? Flex round. Flex round.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Now Prescott on 4th down. Going up top. Touchdown, Cowboys. Their dangerous wide receiver. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. Wow, talk about a big 4th down conversion for the score. Defensively, how do you let that happen?
I think you start with the offense, and you give them credit for going for it and having that kind of, well, let's face it, audacity. But defensively, I think you're right on target, partner. There's no way something like that's supposed to happen in that situation. You're supposed to be able to shut that down and get the ball back for your own team. Instead, they give up not just a big play, but a touchdown.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they've got to make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Jordan Reed was the intended target, and it's 2nd down.
Whenever I see a drop like that, I have to kind of take a step back and check myself a little bit. So used to seeing those big guys make big-time spectacular plays that when they drop one, I have to remind myself, we ask a lot out of these guys. Block and catch the football, not easily done in today's NFL.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
On 3rd and 1, here's Cousins. Jordan Reed has it. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. And they thought they could exploit this defense with some really quick hitters, quick action. They worked on that in practice. We just saw it there.
And we saw them break it down to the fundamentals as well. Each position group had their own little work on it. You know, they worked on a drill here with the receivers, a drill there with the quarterbacks. Then they brought it all together, and now it's paying off in the game.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. And a first carry here for Charles Sims. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36.
I would not want to be an offensive lineman in today's NFL, especially not a center or a guard, if you got to deal with these massive defensive tackles who could not just beat you with strength, but they can beat you with quickness and guile as well. They can get upfield and make plays. And a lot of times what they're taught, just go ahead and tackle everyone that comes in your area and keep the run with the ball.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll bring this one inside the 35. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Now Cousins, and that is incomplete. Seventh play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. 3rd and short yardage. Cousins. It's brought in by Dodson. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down.
So how do you beat man coverage? First of all, you want to be a superior receiver, but you know something, that guy who's covering you, he's usually pretty good too. So the corner route is usually a great spot to get it done.
They go play action here on first down. And he slings one that's incomplete. He was looking for Jamison Crowder there. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9. Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. On 3rd down, Cousins. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
To throw, Cousins. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Much like that at just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
Here we go.
3rd and goal for Cousins. That's complete right around the 8. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. And Hopkins' kick is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So a 15-play drive. Can't believe that only resulted in 3, but it did.
That is somewhat amazing, isn't it? When you hold the ball that long, run offense that well, yet only put 3 points on the board, it has to be a little bit of a disappointment, doesn't it?
Has to. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with it?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
They'll come out in the pistol. They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackler was there right away for a loss of yardage.
Again, we'll see the pistol here. Here's Prescott. Looking left side for Watkins, and he's got him. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And counting the defense here, the Redskins have 6 defensive backs out there. On third down, it's Prescott. And this will be caught at the 30. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. Another pistol look here. And the wideout in motion. A first down carry by Elliott. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Let's see what the offense comes with here. 2nd and 8. They go to Elliott again. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. Third and short yardage, Prescott. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Charles, I know it's hard when live bullets are flying, but you cannot keep your hand up around the face mask area.
It is absolutely inexcusable nowadays. We talk about target areas all the time. You have to aim lower so that your hand doesn't get involved in the face mask.
First down, Prescott. His throw incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, James Hanna. And now it's second down. So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store.
Here we go.
A second down throw for Prescott. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. He was looking for Odell Beckham that time. And that'll make it third down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurt. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Odell Beckham, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead.
And that lead is now 7 with a chance to go to 8 or more if they want to get crazy here, which we don't expect. But I just know the way the game's being played with the analytics, there's going to be a lot more going for 2 in a lot of situations, isn't there?
Yeah, there's going to be. And now I think their focus here, they don't want to give up anything going into the lockers on the other, and just a little bit of time left on the clock.
Yeah, they don't want to do anything to erase the good feeling they have right now by getting this late score in the half.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure.
And now the Cowboys are going to call another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Cousins now to throw on first down. Looking for his tight end read, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the all-pro linebacker. It's Von Miller, and they're going to be set up in the red zone right around the 17-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And where the ball is now, you got the field goal pretty much in the bag. Now do you try for the end zone a couple of times?
I don't think there's any question about it. You might get a gift of 6 points rather than the 3 that you just noted that you feel like you already have. Be aggressive, go after it, and try and get those points.
It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives them a 1st and goal.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss. But
now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Here we go. Man 38. Man 38.
Out of the gun, here's Prescott. His pass caught at the 4. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll make it 2nd and goal.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And Bailey able to knock it through. And that will extend their lead here to 17-6. So they recover the fumble but could not take advantage of the short field. They do get 3.
And no one ever turns down 3 points going up on the board, but the offense will go to the sidelines wondering what if, while the defense on the other side, they'll celebrate holding them to just a field goal after giving up such bad field position.
Now after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest as we send you over to our headquarters in Orlando, where we check in with Larry Ridley for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Out come the Cowboys now as he'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Caught left side, it's Beckham. A good pickup there on 20 yards.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
Come on, let's go. What?
Shipped together here from the D-line. This is Elliott fighting through. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
And they're 6 yards away from picking up the first here on second down. They come up in an offset eye. And he motions the wide receiver. Prescott now on second down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence.
And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Again, it's Elliott. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Well, that's the desired outcome coming out here in the second half of being able to run the football and establish a little bit of pace and maybe even a bit of dominance at the line of scrimmage. They want that to continue. Way too early to think about this being ball control time, but the way they're running it, you got to think they may want to continue that and see if they can go ahead and grind their opponents into submission.
One man in the backfield, Elliott. And they'll give it to him here. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Partner, I know that play didn't work very well, but an old New York Giants quarterback taught me a lesson a long time ago. Sometimes running the draw actually takes courage and play calling. You're actually setting something up for later in the game, and just because it was unsuccessful then doesn't mean it won't be successful later.
Let's go! Brand 38!
On second down, Elliott. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
2 plays in a row, the defense won, stacking up the running game. They've got to feel good about themselves, but something has to be in the back of their minds. Are we being set up for something big? They've got to be careful.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down.
Let's go! What? Flex round! Here we go! Flex round!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up 4th down.
This offense really put themselves in a tough spot on 1st and 2nd down, needing long yardage to try and pick up a first down, and they ended up getting a great run. Explosive, picked up nice yardage. You don't expect to be in this situation on 4th down, but guess what? It all started with what happened on 1st and 2nd down. Really put them behind the 8 ball.
And Bailey able to knock it through. And that will extend their lead even further. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, but the net gain, 3 points.
And you're going to have drives like that in this league. Sometimes you just got to take the 3 and move on. Always better than nothing.
Now after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. So now we look at the Redskins offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeves. 13 yards there on the pickup. And that leads to a Washington first down. A first down throw for Cousins. And that'll be incomplete. Ten yards still left on second down. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Here's Cousins. And that's going to be incomplete. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. And a hook up over the middle to Pryor. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. They'll indeed go for it. It's Cousins. Jordan Reed has it. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. A big play that time through the air. 31 yards. And the offense moving quickly to the line. First down. Here's Cousins. Escaping the pressure right. And his throw is incomplete. He was looking for Dorial Green-Beckham. That'll bring up second down.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass. Excellent job. Way to knock it down.
Cousins now. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Throwing. Cousins steps away to his left. Nothing on that one. It'll be second down.
Well, he strung it out as far as he could, and I like the fact that he kept his eyes downfield, but he finally ran out of time and room. But I'll take that over forcing it downfield and possibly having it intercepted.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. To throw is Cousins. Dancing to his left. And this is caught in the end zone. It's Dotson for the Redskins touchdown. Josh Doctson, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Redskins have made this a one-score game. It's up and good, a 7-point margin. It's 20-13 now. Back now here on EA Sports, where the fourth quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the third quarter. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
And in this situation with a lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
It's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Second down throw for Prescott. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line.
A little football 101 there. just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at it, and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
One man in the backfield, Elliott.
Let's go. Brad 38.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. This is complete to Watkins on the slant. And now the ball's out, fumble near midfield. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent, but you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone.
Cousins. Caught on the right side, Reed. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough. Swing the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Short of the sticks after that completion, and now it's 3rd down for this offense.
4 down, 4 down. All right, here we go.
Cousins on 3rd and 2. Forced out to his left. And an alley to run. And avoids the contact by sliding. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a 1st down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
They go play action here on 1st down. Out to the left here to Reed. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
They go play action. Cousins. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. It's a gain of 7, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
3rd and short yardage. Cousins. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a 1st down.
1 score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Defense really showing respect to the deep ball here, playing off the receivers. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. The Redskins go for it, but it doesn't pan out. And the Cowboys' defense is going to get them the football back. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. So they're leading. They have possession of the football, and certainly this is where they just want to milk the clock. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. A give to Elliott. And that closed up quickly there as he gets it up only to about the 17. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. And 3 full yards here for the offense to get on third down.
Let's go.
3rd and short yardage. Prescott. And he will find his man on the outside. The Redskins looking for another timeout, and they get it. That'll be their second, so one more chance to stop the clock here, and we'll be back. Out now comes the Cowboys punter. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. Here's Archer. Whoosh. And he's free going down. And he takes it all the way, but there is a flag down, so hold the celebration. This one's coming back.
Well, we know one bench is jumping up and down in excitement right now after that punt return for a touchdown. Whether they go for a PAT or go for 2, probably depends on the team's philosophy, doesn't it?
Either way, made it a one-score game. So a little work to do, though, here in the 4th. They'll look to throw. And his throw here is incomplete. He was looking for Terrell Pryor that time. And that'll bring up second down. So 2nd and 10 here. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Back to throw. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or 2 in and bats it away.
Incomplete pass on 2nd down. Let's see what the offense draws up here on 3rd. He'll look to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down. Back to throw. He finds his target. It's Crowder. Give him 25 yards on the play there. And on 4th and long, somehow they're able to keep the drive going. And now they're in the hurry-up. He's back to throw. And a hook up over the middle to Pryor. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Three yards remaining here on 2nd down. Now Cousins being chased out left. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal.
Offensively, they liked their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open. So it was tuck it in run time, and he picks up a 1st down.
Here's Cousins. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, any caused incompletion is good for a defense. But when you add to it that you get a little hit on the quarterback, knock him to the ground, make him think a little bit, hopefully knock him off his game, especially in a game of this magnitude, this tight in the fourth quarter. Got to feel pretty good as a defense.
Cousins. And this ball is caught. It's a touchdown. And now in the final seconds, they're a PAT away from likely getting this thing to overtime.
And while it appears the heavy lifting was accomplished by scoring the touchdown, they're still down one. That extra point is not a gimme.
And now a critical extra point attempt here. And we may very well be headed to overtime. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. In a tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. One man in the backfield, Elliott. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Prescott to throw. Going for the deep ball. And this is going to be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They can still get into field goal range, partner. They got to work quickly, though.
I agree with you totally. Find a way to get the ball downfield and out of bounds. In a perfect world, they know what hash they want to get to for their kicker, and they already know the distance that he feels comfortable. That'll dictate what they do on offense.
See if they can get in his range. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the all-pro linebackers, Von Miller. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. And now here come the Cowboys. Tie game, and barring something incredible here, we're likely headed to overtime.
And just a couple of scenarios here to keep in mind. One, if you want to be really aggressive, you do throw the Hail Mary and see if you can get something downfield.
What would you do?
What I would do is either hand it off inside, or more likely I take a knee and let the clock run out. Because if I'm back there trying to throw and a sack happens, the ball comes free, I can lose the game here. If I get to overtime, I can still win it.
Let's see if they are in line with Charles Davis. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. Except for their first drive here in overtime. And this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team. And that first drive can dictate the whole thing, because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
And it's been loud in here so far. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. And they're behind the sticks here a bit now, dealing with a 2nd and 12. The first throw in overtime now for Cousins. Out to the left, it's complete to Jackson. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. They'll come out in the pistol. On 3rd down, Cousins. Jordan Reed has it. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
5 yards left for the offense. It's second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, good hurdle. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
All right, it's football 101 to know that the quarterback controls just about everything on offense. But a lot of times what gets missed is that the center controls line play. He has to communicate to the guards and the tackles what type of front they're facing, how they're going to block it, and what adjustments need to be made sometimes on the fly as a defense will shift. Give the center a lot of credit because, for the most part, he's got big defensive linemen over his face all game long that he's got to try and block and protect his quarterback and create space for his runner. In this case, he did a really nice job of communicating and executing.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5.
Here we go.
Off the play fake, Cousins. It's brought in by Dodson. And the ball is knocked out. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Cousins now on 2nd down. And a hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. They were trying to get it there to Josh Doxson, and it'll bring up 3rd down. They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on 3rd down. Cousins from the gun on 3rd. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. So now one of the biggest kicks. And now the Cowboys are going to call another timeout. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to at least get them a lead here in overtime. And Hopkins' kick is good. And that will break our tie and give them a 3-point lead. All right, so they're able to put 3 on the board here on the opening drive of OT, and now it'll be up to their defense to try and see this one out.
So remember now, a field goal on this next drive would get us to sudden death. Any kind of turnover or turnover on downs would end the game, as would any touchdown. So this one's still very much up in the air.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. The field goal would push it to sudden death. We just saw the field goal on the other end, but I don't think they are thinking field goal. At least not to start this drive. They're not thinking field goal.
Not at all, because your point is well taken. Yeah, kick the field goal, you push it to sudden death, but you're also kicking off and giving the other team the ball with a chance to kick a field goal and beat you. Get the touchdown, finish the game off. That has to be the mindset.
Here comes the first throw in OT for Prescott. He sets to fire deep. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. He's going to try and go deep again. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, third down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
So a second down incompletion now brings up third down. And they're going to go soft on the corners. On third down, it's Prescott. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a first down for them, too.
2 minutes to go here in overtime. We'll be back after this. One man in the backfield, Elliott.
Come on, let's go! Grand 38, let's round!
He's going to get the football. And he's got room. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. 10 yards on the pickup there. And the Cowboys are going to get a first down.
Okay, let's face it. Most of the offensive linemen in today's NFL, they're going to weigh over 300 pounds. But that doesn't mean they don't have agility. And the way that they can get out in front of a runner and create a space, sometimes it looks like they're going in one direction, and the runner uses his eyes to take him in another direction because it's been blocked so well. Love those misdirectional counter plays, and this one worked really well for a nice piece of yardage.
They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. A good first down call as the screen play gets him 9.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Prescott now on second down. Caught left side, it's Beckham. And this time not quite to the 30, it'll be down at the 31-yard line. And here comes play number 6 on this drive.
Let's go!
Now back to the ground with Elliott. About 3 yards there to the 27.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
A second down throw for Prescott. And a quick throw here, that's complete. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? Prescott now. Over the middle, he's got Watkins. And eventually stopped just shy of the goal line right around the 2. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now first and goal. And quickly, they get to the line. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's into the end zone for the touchdown and the game winner in OT. a spectacular finish. They needed at least a field goal to keep the game alive. They do one better. They get it in the end zone and end it.
And I don't know about you, but I'm worn out. That type of a game takes it all out of us as well, not just the guys on the field. What a tremendous finish, and as you noted, were they going to go and try and get 3 and keep the game going? And that wasn't good enough for them. They got the touchdown, and that's why we're able to say goodbye.
So for the Cowboys, they used a favorable early schedule to their advantage as they move to 2-0. And they'll have another home date next week as the New York Giants come to town. Meanwhile, for Washington, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll be at home for one next week against the Oakland Raiders. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
Hello, my name. I don't need to force it, I let it occur, whatever occurs. Thank you. Feel like I was touched by an angel. Once again, a whole nother angle. I got a lot of holes in my ankle. I got